came up to vlog. Good morning guys and welcome to my channel. This is a video I've been putting off for a couple of months now because I keep waiting to be more qualified to talk about it, but no, let's get into it right now. So a couple of days ago I posted a story asking you guys to send me questions on what I do for a living, all things corporate, what I studied, because I know some of you are really interested to get into similar fields. So today I'm going to be answering all of them. So let's get into it. A little bit of an introduction if you don't know me. My name is Twinkle. I'm a 25-year-old living in Dubai. I'm gonna turn 26 this year. I'm also an influencer, but I also have a job. I've been in Dubai my whole life. So I was born and raised here. I went to university here. I went to school here. So Dubai is all I've really known my whole life. I've also only worked here in Dubai. I've never applied for jobs anywhere else, so I don't really know the whole job market situation anywhere else. But yeah, one of my most asked questions was actually what I studied and how I got my job. Now this is going to be a huge segment of the video, so bear with me. In my 11th and 12th grade, I took up commerce with accountancy, and then in university, I did my bachelor's in media and communication and I specialized in TV and film. I think I was a pretty good student. I graduated 12th grade with 91% CBSE, so that's not a bad thing. And I also graduated university top of the class. I think I had a CGPA or a GPA of 9 in my final term. My main skills in university and school and what I really enjoyed doing was actually photography and videography. This is not something a lot of people now know, but back then I was so passionate about it, and that was my biggest passion in university because I specialized in TV and film. I also got a little bit more hands-on experience with cameras, but I'm going to be honest, this is not something that you can't learn from YouTube. It was between the ages of 16 to 18 or 19 years that I would contact people, and I really enjoyed the process of creative direction and coming up with mood boards and storyboards and concepts. Right after university, when I was about 21 years old, I applied for my first internship, and this was at Apparel Group. At Apparel Group, I interned at 6th Street, which is their e-commerce website. I interned as a studio photographer, and that's how I kind of learned how studio photography works. I learned a little bit about the equipment, how e-commerce styling and fashion and all of that stuff works. I was getting paid, I think, between 2,500 to 3,500 dirhams. I don't fully remember, but that's how much I was making for about 3 months. Now that I had that studio photography background experience at 6street.com, I then started freelancing with Namshi, and I remember my rate at Namshi was, I think, 400 dirhams per day. I don't know if that was a standard or that was just the rate that was given to me, and I used to get booked probably twice or thrice a week. During Christmas or like Black November, I used to get booked like 4 times a week. There was also a period where I was freelancing as a wedding photographer and videographer. It was the worst period of my life. It was for this woman who owned a wedding production studio. I was getting paid 350 dirhams for an 8-hour shoot. That is very less because wedding packages from her company, I remember, used to start at 8,000 or 10,000 dirhams, and she would send me and another person like me who was very young and easily exploitable for 350 dirhams. It wasn't very frequent, but I think I've probably done like 6 to 7 shoots for her, and it came to a point where I was so done. I used to feel so humiliated every single time after that shoot because I would come back and I would be so tired because even if it's an 8-hour shoot, you would have to get there at like 2 p.m. and sometimes weddings run longer, so you'd have to stay extra, and the way photographers are treated are so bad at weddings. After like a long day shoot, everyone would sit down to eat and I would stand and like watch because I was not allowed to sit, and then maybe if the family is good, they would ask me to sit and have like a meal with them, but if not, I would just have to stand and watch. And even the money, no, none of it helped. But yeah, coming back to Namshi, I worked there for about 6 to 8 months, and in March I lost Namshi because COVID hit, so studios were closed. The rare occasions that it was opened, they used to prioritize other freelancers and not me. So right after Namshi, I was unemployed for about 4 months. I wasn't really making any money at this time, but it was during this time that I went through a big breakup in my life. It was during COVID. I was not allowed to step out, so I had to cry in my home for I don't know how long, for literally months. It was the worst time of my life. But it was also during this time that I applied for my dream internship at Cosmo. I remember by that time I had stalked my editor-in-chief for so many months, and one day I just mustered up the courage and I DM'd her on Instagram saying, "Hi, my name is Twinkle. This is what I do. I'm a photographer. I would really really love to intern. Please let me know when I can come in for an interview or something like that. And she responded back saying that they're full right now and to email her the next month. I would diligently follow up with her every 30 days. And I did this for 4 months until one day she said, come over to our offices, let me interview you. Right after I stepped out, I called my friend and I was like, listen, I got the internship, but it's unpaid. But even before she answered, I just knew that I was still going to take it up because by then I had enough money saved up to be able to fund an unpaid internship. Because it's not really unpaid because there is some amount of paying, it just happens to be from your side. So I took up this unpaid internship. It lasted about 6 months and every minute in that internship, I loved it. I know that unpaid internships can be a very touchy subject for some people because not everyone can afford it, and I completely understand that. It was a huge privilege that I got to take, but I did make sure to utilize every single day. I knew that by just being there and being able to be in the same room as so many women that I always follow on Instagram who have the life that I want, who do things that they really love and enjoy, I knew that I could learn so much from them. And very luckily for me, in my first month of my internship itself, they had actually sent me to Egypt to cover the Elguna Film Festival, which was breakthrough, I think, for me. During those 10 days in Egypt, me and my colleague also secured interviews and photo shoots with some of the biggest Arab celebrities. And I remember I shot all of them, which when I came back, they put into like a 10-page spread in the magazine. And if you're someone that loves magazines as much as I do and like just flipping through them and looking at the photography, you will know that this was the biggest dream for me at that point. And it literally started with just DMing my editor-in-chief. This was the shoot that I did. Page 3 and 4. That's Raya. I'm sure many of you will know her. It was a massive, massive deal for me. After this trip that I did continue to intern there for another 5 months. My only goal with this internship was to gain as much knowledge as possible. So there were literally times that I would go to my editor-in-chief and I would tell her that I have so many questions to ask you. I don't understand the jargon. When we're in meetings, I don't understand half the things that you say. So I want to sit with you and I want to ask you these questions. So we came up with this thing where every week I would literally print off questions that I had accumulated over the week and she would answer them with me one by one. So that's one of the things that I did during my internship, which also showed my manager, showed my boss that I really wanted to learn. I've learned that when you show that hunger for growth and opportunities, they would want to help you. During my internship, I also made sure to talk about it on social media and make everyone know that I now work at Cosmo, because when you do an unpaid internship, you also want to make as much noise about the company and you have to choose a company that can really benefit your personal brand as well. So by the time I finished my internship, a lot of people knew that I was working at Cosmo, so I did get approached for quite a few freelance projects. One of them was the Book It Cafe. I'm still very close to the founders. I worked with them for about, I think, 6 to 7 months. And there was also another retainer client that I had. They were this startup business. Collectively, from both of these retainer clients, I think I was making about 8,000 dirhams per month. 8,000 is not bad at all for someone that was working from home and could wake up anytime and do anything. Through my internship at Cosmo and through these freelance clients that I had, I was quickly learning about social media. I also started having a much better understanding of the corporate world and how to talk to people and how to answer emails and all of these things, which I never had. I never had it before. So about 6 months after my internship at Cosmo ended, I was then offered a role. I think they had created a position called the content producer for me. I did that for about 2 years. Unfortunately, I cannot mention the salary because I'm still working at this place, so I can't be disclosing that information. So I did that for about 2 years, from 2021 November until 2023 November. I became a proper corporate girly during this time. This was my first, say, proper job I had. There is a huge problem of glorifying freelance and being your own boss and all of that stuff. You guys, you can only be your own boss if you are very disciplined and you have a vision for your own personal brand. If you don't have those things, you're going to be spending 3 to 5 years chasing money, chasing clients, and still not knowing what you're doing with your life. So that's a route that I was taking, and it's because I completely lacked the discipline to be a freelancer, and I also lacked the drive to become a freelancer and to be my own boss. I need someone watching over me. I need someone guiding me. So when I entered the corporate world and I started working there, I really started loving routines and being responsible and waking up every single day at a certain time. I really enjoy that grind. So last November, I completed 2 years as a content producer, and then in November, I got a raise and I became a senior content producer. So I pretty much started as an intern, then I freelanced, then I became a content producer, and then a senior content producer within 3 years. So that was a super long answer to how I got my job. If you're looking to get into, the fashion marketing or the publishing industry, it has to do with contacts and it has to do with knocking on multiple doors course. Just applying on LinkedIn does not count. And it also starts with a lot of free work. This is because of how saturated the industry is and how many people want to get into the industry. My biggest suggestion to break into an industry like this would be to work on your own portfolio. Try to get as much of your personal work out there. Use social media to amplify your work, and then also find people who work in the industry, message them, get in touch with them, tell them that you're looking for a mentor, give your services for free. And once someone trusts you for your services and what you can do, that is when you start charging. And then once you get comfortable with charging, you can always increase the rate depending on the demand. The next few questions, we are going to be whizzing through them, so don't skip. What were you earning when you moved out of your parents' home? How did you manage then? I had about 80 to 90,000 dirhams saved up. So to me personally, I didn't really feel like it was a huge expense. I used a lot of my savings for my rent. If you are looking to move out, please have savings, because if not, you will be stressing over rent and it just ruins the whole process of living alone. Once I moved out, my savings didn't really increase for a while. Living alone can be expensive, so be careful. Is influencing and putting yourself out there really worth it? What are the pros and cons? The pros and cons depend upon what is important to you. For me, what is important is money, freedom, a strong network, products, experiences. I get all of these for free through social media. Now, when it comes to the cons, of course, there will be hate comments and people shitting on you and people making fun of you, but I'm a very secure person in who I am, in what I look like, and in my friendships and in my life. So hate comments don't really affect me, but if you're someone with a low self-esteem and you generally take people's opinions very seriously, then social media can be a pretty dark place because people are ruthless. They're not even cons. Like, compared to what I get, hate me, shit on me, I don't give a fuck. Where did you go for college? Which university? I went to Manipal, Dubai. I graduated in 2019. I think I was there from 2016 to 2019, and this is where I studied media and communication, and I specialized in TV and film. How many hours do you spend filming and editing in real life? My Instagram videos are pretty straightforward. Like, I look at the camera and I talk shit. That takes me about 20 minutes to film and another 20 minutes to edit. So I usually have a video ready in like 40 minutes, and if it is shareable, that can get millions of views. Is the corporate life really worth it? Doesn't it feel monotonous after some time? It would feel monotonous depending on your industry. Social media moves very quickly, media moves very quickly, so it does not feel monotonous to me at all. I actually really love it. My corporate life really gave me a structure, and that's one thing that I'm super grateful for. So for me, it is worth it in terms of where it's got me and how much it's helped develop my personal skills and my social skills and just understand how the corporate world works. But if I'm talking about money, I'm not too sure. The money I make on social media is so much more, so I'm not really gonna say that corporate world is worth it for money, but you can learn a lot whilst you're there. It just always helps to have a side hustle. Do you think of being an influencer full-time to replace your day job? I personally would only quit my job if I'm committing to something much bigger, like if I want to start posting YouTube videos regularly and build $1 million business through YouTube, then I would quit my job. Or if I want to really commit to a hobby and I want to grow in that, then I would quit. I wouldn't necessarily quit just because I want more freedom or I want to be able to wake up anytime, because that can feel monotonous, that can feel boring. So no. Given the field that you are in, does the lack of work life cause burnout? It does cause burnout. I've seen many people go through a proper burnout and even have to be admitted to the hospital. I personally just haven't gone through it. Maybe because I've never had as much work to cause a burnout. But no, not for me. But it does happen in the industry. Sorry if this is super intrusive, but what's the largest brand deal you have signed so far? Okay, should I or should I not share? Okay, I will share. So far, the largest brand deal that I have signed is $9,000. The deal is completed. I'm now waiting for my payment. There is another contract that I've signed. I've not started working on it yet, so I'm not really sure if it's going through or not. But the contract that I've signed was for worth $20,000. That's yet to come into fruition. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully it all works out. But yeah, if not, 9,000 would be the number that I can share. What's the first step to becoming an influencer from scratch? Enjoy making videos. So many people want to become influencers for the perks, but don't actually enjoy the process of making videos, editing videos, putting themselves out there. They don't like the hard work or the behind the scenes part of it, which is a huge part of becoming an influencer, because once you start getting brand deals, it becomes work. Let me tell you, there are so many reshoots that I've had to do, so many re-edits, so much of following up and approvals and all of these things. And if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to enjoy becoming an influencer. But the first step would be to actually like the process of making videos and get better at it. And once you get better at it, it's going to be much more easier to be consistent on social media and start posting videos. How do you juggle a full-time job and content creation? Love your YouTube content. Keep it up. Thank you so much. How do I juggle? The kind of videos that I make on social media do not require a lot of brains or time. All I have to do is sit on my bed and talk crap about my ex, and It's not difficult to juggle. It only becomes very difficult when it is like maybe March, where it gets super busy and I have so much work at my office, and then I also have to come back and make videos, and if I have brand deals and I have to send it for approval, so at that point it gets really crazy. There is no recipe to balancing it. I just have to work overtime. My work ends at 6, I come home and I'm working on my social media after that. A lot of the times I wake up at like 5 or 6 in the morning to shoot my brand deals, because that's the time when light is good, and it's also the time before I get to the office. That's how I juggle, by waking up early or staying up late. How do you remain so driven, and what keeps you motivated to keep creating? When I moved out and I got my own place and I could wake up anytime, sleep anytime, all I started thinking was work and my social media and Instagram and TikTok and all of these things. It was just having this alone time to work on myself. I'm also single, so I don't really have a relationship or a boy to distract me. Moving out, no boys. That's how I remain motivated and driven. How to get into brand PR lists and how to find brand deals. When you have a good profile, brands find you. When you make videos where a brand can see themselves fit in, they will find you, they will get in touch, they will put you in their PR lists. Are you a good fit for brands to feature on their page? And if you think you are and you're still not getting brand deals, my suggestion would be to research and find out the top PR agencies and influencer marketing agencies in your town. Okay, once you find these agencies, try to find out who works there, either through LinkedIn or through social media stalking. When you do that, you can always send them a DM and say, hi, I would love to be in your mailing list or your PR list. I'm an influencer with these many amount of followers and this is my engagement rate. Please keep me in the loop. If they find your profile and if they like you, they will add you to their PR lists or gifting. Another thing that I think you can also do is start creating content with the products that you already have. So if you have like 3 lipsticks from Rimmel, you can make a video of, these are my 3 favorite lipsticks from Rimmel, and then you tag them, and a lot of the times they will see you, and if they like their content, they will start sending you gifts. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start social media but is not sure about their niche? So I know there are many videos of people who talk about how to find your niche and how to make videos and blah, 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 blah. Cut that noise. Your niche is what you care about and who you are as a person. That's your niche. So I spent a long time thinking about what the fuck to make videos about until I realized that I actually just love shit talking. Right now in my life, these are things that I care about. Being single, my home, my job, the influencer journey, or making money. So this happens to be my niche. In 5 years, if that changes, if I become a housewife and I have 5 kids, that will become my niche. There will be people who enjoy what you talk about, and there is already an existing market of people who love the same things that you do. It's all just about connecting. And how does that connection happen? By posting content. That's when they find you. Whew, okay, that came across way more preachier, I think, than I intended it to be, but it's just what I think. How did you decide what you wanted to make videos about? I didn't decide actually. It was just something that came naturally. One day I decided to talk about my mom and that video went viral and I was like, this is good. So I should make talking videos. What can I talk about now? And then I just started doing that over and over again. It wasn't a conscious decision where I sat one day and I was like, I want to make videos about being single. I never decided that. I would just talk about things that came into my head and shared them. And over time, there was a pattern that I found that people could resonate with and they started following me. Have you ever considered changing your accent for your content? No. Why would I? Like, why should I change my accent? I go to office and I speak to people from different nationalities. Most of the time, they can understand me. But no, on a serious note, I've seen many creators change their accent and I completely understand where it comes from, especially when you're working in such a diverse industry. But at the same time, when you fake your accent, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like if I try to fake a British accent, do you think anyone will think I'm British? Of course not. Can I pretend to be an American? Of course not. I'm Indian. I speak like an Indian. Indians can understand me. White people hopefully can understand me. Black people can understand me. Brown people can understand me. So why should I change my accent? I do get bullied for my accent though. That is true. Actually, the main reason I don't fake my accent is because I don't know how to. It's a skill which I don't have. How to get over the shy phase of posting yourself repeatedly. You just have to do it to a point where you don't feel it anymore. On the other side of it, when you start monetizing it, it just becomes so worth it and then nobody else will matter. What people say won't matter. What people think won't matter. You will just become really thick-skinned. Money makes your skin thick. Has being an influencer changed the attitude of people towards you? I don't think so, or maybe I've not noticed it. No, actually, no, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's changed their attitude towards me. When I go for events now, a lot more people recognize me and they come and talk to me and they're nicer. But that's not because I'm an influencer now. It's just because now they know me or they feel like they know me through my videos. But apart from that, not necessarily. Sometimes when I meet people people at work, they talk about my social media, but that's about it. I'm still humbled every day and I prefer to keep it that way. How do you manage to stay fit and healthy with your work schedule? This question feels like a slap on my face because I weighed myself yesterday and I've put on 6 kgs this year. No, I don't manage to stay fit and healthy. I've become fat as fuck. My old jeans don't fit anymore. In every picture I take, I see so many rolls on my back which I've never seen before. So that's the answer of how I stay fit. Will I still be able to succeed and thrive on social media if I don't show my face? I think you can still make money. There are a lot of faceless creators. It definitely is limiting because you have to make up for the lack of your face or the lack of your personality in multiple other ways. So unless you know how to really nail that, it's going to be very difficult. This is the last question. How did you find a job that keeps you content and fulfills you? I feel like every job until I got my full-time job didn't satisfy me, and every time I took it up, I knew what I didn't want, and that's how you find something that you want. What really helps is doing as many things as possible, picking up 1 or 2 skills along the way, and it will lead you to where you want to be. Don't shy away from learning new things and going to different companies and starting from scratch. Your direction is much more important than your speed. Even if you're not growing quickly, as long as you are starting somewhere where you want to be, it will lead you to your dream job. I don't know if that was helpful. I'm gonna stop ranting now. I've been speaking for like an hour and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So with that, we've come to an end of this video. I really hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any more questions, make sure to comment them down below. I will try to get back to you. And if not, drop a like, comment down your thoughts, and subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe, guys. I'm really trying to blow up on YouTube this year, okay? I'm fucking trying. Oh, my back is gone. On YouTube, I get like 10 comments, so every comment counts. Bye!